What's good, you bots? So constantly in the comment section, I always see you guys asking me to do a project that is easy to replicate and can be done at home. Well, today's video is just that. It is a super simple mod that even a beginner can complete and will work with any console or PC. And it requires no special software or a crazy electronic modding know-how. We will be creating a modular scroll wheel attachment that can hook up and be used with any controller just by using a cheap $10 computer mouse. About a year ago, we made a video on a custom scroll wheel PS4 controller. It went kind of semi-viral and was even noticed by massive YouTuber Flea. This clearly showed that there was a massive demand for integrating the OP scroll wheel reset functionality that PC players are privy to into the controller scene. The biggest request from me coming out of that video was to do the mod to an Xbox controller and or to relocate the scroll wheel to a different location so that it could be used with paddles. And this is where the inspiration for this video came from. By making the scroll wheel an attachment instead of a mod that was built into the controller, it allows the player so much more flexibility. The biggest challenge when creating our scroll wheel attachment was figuring out how to make it as small and as light as possible. As we are using a standard wired computer mouse, the mouse's main board is quite large. We can't just put the whole board into a custom plastic shell and slap it on a controller and call it a day. I mean, you technically could, but it would result in a bulky, uncomfortable mess. We needed to relocate the scroll wheel and all the components that make a scroll wheel work away from the mouse's main board. The easiest way to approach this is by desoldering the scroll wheel's encoder. The encoder is held onto the main board by 3 solder points and 2 legs. Once the encoder has been successfully desoldered and removed away from the board, it's time to make it modular. For this step, we are going to use any USB type cable, preferably one for a cell phone that you have laying around your house. While you could just use standard electrical wire to extend the scroll wheel's length away from the board, using a USB type cable makes this build so much cleaner looking. Inside these USB cables, there are 4 standard electrical wires wrapped neatly inside of tubing. As the scroll wheel encoder was only connected to the mouse's main board by 3 points, this is more than enough wire to cleanly extend the scroll wheel multiple feet away from the mouse's main board. And this is why I said this project is great for beginners or someone looking for an easy gaming mod. This is all the soldering that needs to be completed for this project. By successfully completing this step, you now have a working scroll wheel detached from the mouse's PCB. The mouse's PCB now becomes a base or a hub for the scroll wheel, which I personally place on top of my console. While not the cleanest solution, it allows the scroll wheel to actually be a fully standalone device. While we made a rough plastic housing for the scroll wheel module in the mouse's PCB to sit in, a much cleaner design could easily be 3D printed. Our design gets the job done, but if you guys at home plan on doing this project and plan on using a 3D printer, I would love to see what designs you come up with. I'll even post them here on this video so others can use it. But if you don't have access or the technical know-how on using a 3D printer, these ABS plastic sheets work wonders and are extremely durable. They are even able to be cut with scissors, sanded, glued, painted, all of that with ease. We use these ABS plastic sheets on almost all of our custom projects. So let's get into how this thing works. If you didn't already know, all the major consoles support keyboard and mouse usage. If you plug a keyboard and mouse into a PS4, PS5, or any of the Xbox consoles, they just straight up work. Fortnite is one of those games that fully support KBM usage on console. No special software or hacking is required. Just plug a keyboard and mouse into any available USB port and the game/console will recognize it. This is just the first half when getting it to work. If you have seen any of my other custom gaming peripherals that we have created specifically for Fortnite, such as the joystick keyboard or more recently, the mouse controller, you will know when using 2 different inputs at the same time within Fortnite, it will cause the game to glitch, such as moving with the joystick and then aiming with the mouse. The game will constantly switch back and forth between these inputs. There is an option though, right in the Fortnite settings, for people who use a joystick style keyboard such as the Azeron to set the joystick as a keyboard input. That way, these inputs won't fight each other and the game won't glitch, but you do lose out on things like aim assist. This is where the scroll wheel attachment really shines. For some reason in Fortnite, when using a controller and a scroll wheel at the same time, the inputs don't fight back and forth like they did with controller in KBM. The scroll wheel appears to be being read as a controller input. I have no idea why this happens. It's almost like Fortnite wants controller players to have the scroll wheel ability, but unfortunately, there is no controller on the market that has this feature. This is why this scroll wheel attachment and scroll wheel on controller is so OP. It is fully supported and fully functional within Fortnite, allowing you to keep all the controller advantages, such as aim assist. You know what's crazy though? While filming this video for our scroll wheel attachment, a similar product showed up on the market, but I had quite a few issues with this design and felt like it left a lot to be desired. Things that I had already planned on correcting with mine. Their scroll wheel attachment incorporated all the electronic components into quite a large case that all clipped onto the back of a controller. It also used some hard plastic fake mini scroll wheel and would only fit on the Xbox controller. Because it clipped on and was quite large, it was stationary and could only be used in one specific location and direction. And worst of all, as of posting this video, it only works on PC, so forget about you console tryhards. I'm assuming this is because it uses some custom circuit board that isn't recognized by consoles. This wasn't exactly the solution we had in mind for a scroll wheel attachment. We wanted ours to be able to use anywhere on the controller that you personally found most comfortable, being able to place it virtually anywhere on a controller that has a flat surface. And more importantly, I wanted our scroll wheel attachment to use a real full-size scroll wheel to emulate the PC experience to a T. And last but not least, it has to work on freaking console. To wrap up this video, I just wanted to cover a few questions I think you guys might have. First and foremost, this is not bannable. Again, you are not required to use any special software or hacks. It's just straight up supported natively. I'm going to start 3D printing a few of these and selling them directly to you bots. So shoot me an email if you're interested in buying one. But please, don't let me have all the fun. You saw how seriously easy this project was. Channel your inner entrepreneur and start selling these yourselves. I want to get the scroll wheel attachment out to as many Fortnite tryhards as possible. With that being said, till next time, later you